Welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. In this season, we are diving into the 70 essential verses of the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, and we're focusing on our 8th essential verse. In chapter 3, verse 21, Shri Krishna deepens the teaching on right action by highlighting the importance of choosing the right role models. Great personalities who think long-term, are inclusive, and live with presence inspire us to evolve from good to great to divine, becoming both peaceful and prosperous.
Yadyadacharati shreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Joy. And this verse is magically aligned with our celebration today. Yada, and then in the next line you'll see a tada, or yat and tat. A very systematic verse. Okay. What acharati here means lifestyle. What another can see. I've shared with all of you, our first covering is our acharamaya kosha, the covering of the lifestyle. The word acharya comes from acharati, the one who lives what they believe in. The way, the lifestyle of a shreshta. Shreshta means great, more practically, one who is following Shreya. Not the path of Preya, but the path of Shreya. Preya, I live for pleasure, possession, position. Shreya, I live for that which is long-term, that which is large-hearted. Shreshta, Shreya. What is Shreya in terms of time and space? It is long-term, it is large-hearted. Tattad eva itaraha janaha, the way the great live, the people, they too live that way. They too follow. Thinking more about the people and how they follow, every one of us has a component to our personality that is to be a follower. All of us. It doesn't matter if you're the alpha of alpha personalities, there's still a part of you that is a follower. I had read somewhere that in every circumstance, there's a natural division that 5% become leaders and 95% become followers. It just happens in terms of traffic, in terms of games, in terms of families. Now, for the person who is following, but they're not reflecting, I feel this following can lead to a cult, to cult-like behavior, and we see that happening in America specifically. But if one is following with reflection, it leads one to a guide. Prince Arjuna, sharing he's a disciple, is shared, I am a follower. I am going to follow, in this case, Shri Krishna. Think lots about your propensity to follow. Do you follow followers? Do you follow leaders? Are you becoming more long-term in thinking, short-term in thinking? Shri Krishna re-emphasizes his statement, his teaching. Sa, that great person, yat pramanam kurute, they establish pramanam, they establish the way, the means, the authority. They established the standard. Bhagwan Narayana's incarnation is Sri Rama. Sri Rama had the specific plan to follow Manava Dharma. He came and lived as a human, like you and I. But what he did, though he followed being a Manava human, he established the Maryada Purushottama. He raised the standard of how people should live. From living in a good way to living in a great way. And people followed. When Sri Rama became the leader, that period was known as Ram Rajya. Inwardly, everyone was peaceful. Outwardly, everyone was prosperous. Now, everyone's trying to be prosperous without being peaceful. People have forgotten about Maryada Purushottama, how to live in a great way. The final quarter, Lokaha tat anuvartate. This standard that's set in the world, anuvartate, people will follow this standard. We wished Shri Krishna's teachings were absolutely true. In this case, we find reasons not to make this absolutely true. Offering some insights into this final quarter. Shri Krishna is speaking to Prince Arjuna. You are the Shrestha, other than Shri Krishna, but he's not calling himself that. Prince Arjuna, you are the Shrestha. If you live a life of escapism, what do you think the rest are going to do? Swami Tejamayana had shared, if Prince Arjuna leaves, the Kauravas will defeat the Pandavas and then go after the Pandavas that are not even in the war. An escapist is someone who's small-hearted and engages in short-term thinking. When Sri Rama was in the jungle, his amazing brother Sri Bharata went to the jungle and took his padukas and brought them back to Ayodhya. And every time he was unclear, he would close his eyes in front of those padukas, and what would come? WWW. What would the wise do? What would Sri Rama do? Sri Bharata followed Sri Krishna's teaching. And zooming into this more for us, we are getting into the right actions. This has to be intensified to the right actions with the right attitudes. And now we're intensifying this more to ensure that we don't compromise, to have the right role models. The right role models, their rightness is that they're uncompromising. Verse 21. The key teaching here being Shrestha. To try to have the right role models in life, but not just symbolically. If you have the right role model in your life, I can't visualize a greater benefit. They can change everything about your life. Yesterday, I had to book my ticket to Nepal, and I have a tight timeline. Vyasa's birthday is on the 15th of June, so I can't leave that day. Then our family vacation's on July 7th, so I have to be back for that. And our yatra is 18 days. So I leave on the 15th, go to Delhi, change planes, go to Mumbai. I get 12 hours in Mumbai, then fly back to Delhi, then to Kathmandu. But I'm so excited for those 12 hours just to be with Pujya Swami Tejomayananda. My ticket's going to take way more time and cost way more, but what's the point of resources and time? Shrestha. Live for those who are great. How do you know they're Shrestha? Because they practice Shreya. In terms of time, they're long-term in thinking. In terms of space, they are large-hearted in feeling. Relating this to the happiness series, Shreya is when you grow out of living for people and you live for a purpose. Even more Shreya is growing out of living for purpose and growing into living for presence. A role model helps us to not succumb to. Shri Krishna uses some harsh descriptions in this chapter. Some of these are one who is a mityacharaha. They're a hypocrite. They think one thing but act in a different way. Stena, those who are thieves. Those who have access to that which is meaningful but are not grateful for it. Mogha, those who are vain. They think about themselves and theirs. It is a role model who helps us follow the right actions with the right attitude in an uncompromising way.
To dive deeper into Essential Love, go to the show notes and click the link to request your free copy of our ebook. The Essential Love ebook includes a dedicated page for each verse that we cover here on the podcast. It includes a structured approach to learn, synthesize, and reflect on the divine teachings. And of course, if you've liked what you've heard, share this episode with a friend. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or find us online at chinmayaniagara.com or CM Niagara on Facebook and Instagram. This podcast is produced by seekers from Chinmaya Mission Niagara. Until next time, inspire, love, be.